All right, so in your yellow books, we are on page 15. So if you're not on 15 yet, go to page 15. You shouldn't need a calculator for this. At one part, you might consider it, but as far as the actual math goes, you won't. So on page 15, exponential word problems. I know people hate word problems, but I think you'll like these for sure. They're not bad at all. The objective is I can model, move up a little bit, an exponential function. Really, it's an exponential situation. We're assuming they're functions, but tomato, tomato. Okay, so write that down. I can model an exponential function. On here, this is the shell for an exponential. The ingredients go in the correct spots. It's pretty easy. Total amount is A, that lives in the front. Generally, it's A equals or Y equals. Equals P. P is your principal. It's how much you start with in the beginning of the problem. Parenthesis 1, kind of random, but 1 is embedded within the formula. 1 lives there. Plus minus, it does depend on whether the situation is going up or down. If bacteria are doubling or you're losing money on a car, that'll affect if it's plus or minus. And T is the amount of time that's passed, right? How many days, hours, weeks, sometimes years, annually. We do need to fix this a little bit again. This is the same infographic that I messed up. Sorry. On this arrow, the total amount is pointing at A. That's good. The starting amount is pointing at P. That's good. The rate is pointing at the plus minus sign. That should be pointing at the R for rate. Go figure. When I moved it, it just reformatted it. And the time, that little branch should be pointing at the T for time. Okay, so in your book really quickly, make sure you redraw those roads because I don't know how to copy paste very well. Okay. Down here, quick comment. It says this year the test will only contain addition exponentials. That's not true. We have an email. We learned that it will include minus ones. It's very easy. It's not going to make life more difficult, but there's just a little disclaimer. And we thought, oh, cool, that'll be one less thing to worry about. And you have to worry about it still. It's not a lot to worry about. You'll see plenty of examples in here. They all have it. Okay, so ignore that little disclaimer. Thought it was going to be nice, but New York State said nope. Okay, let's jump right in. So, word problems. And we're going to be looking at this shell and filling this in to help us craft it, okay, and interpret it. Joe deposits $4,000 into a certificate of deposit, CD, at his local bank. I don't know what that means, and it doesn't matter, but he deposited $4,000. The CD earns 3% interest compounded annually. The value of the CD in X years can be found using the function. And here you go. Well, how do they make these, Mr. K? Well, they use the little crafter up here, the little shell. Okay? So what we're going to do, actually, is we're just going to create the equation, and whichever one matches ours, as long as we do it right, will be the answer. Now, looking at all four choices, they all start with f of x. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, well, instead of leaving it as a, I'm going to put it as f of x right now because might as well craft it the right way. First blank, I go up to my shell. That parenthesis is a P. P is the starting amount. So how much is Joe starting this whole scenario with? $4,000. So in that tiny little spot in your books, try and cram in $4,000. Good enough, $4,000. 1, there's a 1. Plus minus. We got to figure out in this scenario, is it going up or down? The CD earns 3%. Earns. Does that mean it's going up in value or down in value? Earns means goes up in value. So that's going to be 1 plus. I'll put the plus sign there. Okay. 1 plus. The rate. Okay. This requires a little bit of finagling. So what's the rate? 3% interest rate. Okay. Now, here's what you do not do this. It says 3. Do not just go ahead and write 3. It's a good wrong answer. 3% is not written like that, okay? When you convert a percent to a decimal, you have to finagle it. It's really easy. You probably remember it, hopefully, from middle school. So 3% as a decimal is 0.03. That decimal, or 0.03, is what's going to live in that spot, okay? So what we're doing, if you remember from middle school, is you're just taking the end of the decimal point. So there's a decimal point that lives at the end of 3%. It's right here. It's in green. We jump back. We jump left 2 hops. Sorry. 1, 2. Put your decimal point there, and we need a placeholder right here. 0.03, and that's where the 0.03 comes in. And you could put another 0 there if you want the place value for it. So 3% goes in here as 0.03 or 0.03. Sorry, parentheses getting shaved off. That last blank is time. How much time is going on? Well, we don't know. It says the value of the CD in X years. So we do know how much time goes on. It's X years, X plus 1. So that exponent's going to be X. And if you look at the choices, that really narrows it down quickly, doesn't it? Okay. So looking at choices, choice 1, look, X isn't in the right spot. Can't be you. Choice 2, X isn't in the right spot. He's down low. He's got to be up high, exponential, not you. Okay. Right now, which one do you think it is, choice 3 or choice 4? Be careful because the answer lies inside the parentheses. The answer is choice 4. Because inside the parentheses, 1 plus 0.03, well, I don't see it, Mr. K, because they added it. 1 plus 0.03 is 1.03. $1 plus 3 cents is $1.03. So that's why it's the red one, choice 4. Okay? So these require a little bit of crafting. Now, the nice thing about these is you are given this formula on the Regents. Pretty nice. So you don't even have to memorize it. The letters will be the same. You just have to craft it. The hardest part, in my opinion, is the decimal. Getting that decimal to look correctly, putting it in, and make sure you interpret it right. Next question. Let's keep going. Emily. She's given $600 for her high school graduation. I want to be Emily's friends and family. That's nice. She invested it in an account that earns 2.4% per year. If she does not make any deposits or withdrawals, which expression could be used to determine the amount of money that will be in the account after 4 years? Okay, let's craft it. I don't see f of x equals or a equals, so I'm just going to use a up here. A equals, the amount is. First blank, I don't remember. Go up to your shell. P. Oh, starting amount. Well, how much is Emily starting this whole situation with? How much money? $600. Feeling good. Emily's happy. She's buying a PS5. $600. Okay. In the parenthesis, 1. Sweet. Plus minus. We got to decide, is this a growing or decaying problem? She invested it in an account that earns money, plus, addition, better, greater, plus. 1 plus 2.4% interest. Now remember, you can't just put 2.4% in there as 2.4. Question, what would 2.4% become as a decimal? Got to jump left 2 hops. It would become 0.024. Left 2 hops. One gets you before the 2. Another one gets you before that. You have an extra hoop, so you need a 0 as a placeholder. So 0.024. And I'll include the 4 because it terminates pretty closely. So 1 plus 0.024. And up here in this spot, I don't remember. Oh, it's the time. Well, how much time is going on for old Emily here? How much time goes by? Amount of money that will be in the account for 4 years. Put a 4 up there. At that point, I'm all filled in. I'm looking at the choices and I'm shopping around. Take a look. Based on what we have in these 4 choices, what would the answer have to be? Well, it's a plus, so 2's gone, 4's gone. And then again, unpack the decimal correctly. You're looking at choice 3. They're going to try and get you on the decimal. I'm telling you right now. The rest of that's pretty easy, huh? Okay. Next page. Whoa, Mr. K, where did Michelle go? You don't get a shell on the Regents. They give you the reference formula. You need to write it. Not too bad, right? Come over here. All right, well, P equals, well, actually, it's A equals, isn't it? Amount equals P. Sorry. Starting out good, huh? A equals P1 plus minus R to the T. Now, I have it memorized because I'm a math teacher, but for you, you'd be flipping back and forth, writing it down. Okay? And then craft it. So what I'm going to do at that point, once I have that built, I'm going to put an equal sign, underline, parenthesis, 1, plus minus, underline, parenthesis, underline. Okay? There's your shell. You can use that now. Okay? And you can build it in. So what I want you to do now is I want you to pause this video. I want you to try and answer questions C, D, and E on your own. And then when you're ready to see the answers, go ahead and play the video. But seriously, pause the video, see if you can get it, create the shell for all of them, and see if you can get all 3. Go 3 for 3. I bet you can't. I hope you can. I'm rooting for you. Pause the video, go. Alrighty. Really quickly, rapid fire. There are 3 answers. You should have gotten 3, 2, and 1. Should have been your 3 answers. How'd you do? All 3? Hopefully. I hope so. Okay. Now, for practice, at least for my class, there's going to be a quizzes on this to see how you can do. Oh, I hate quizzes. You don't need a calculator, right? You're literally looking at the shell and you assemble it. It's pretty easy, okay? So I'm going to give you a quizzes. Show me what you know. 80% or higher is a 3. If you can house it and get 100, get a 4. Easy enough. Okay, guys? Good luck. If you want to watch any of this video again and you think it was great, go for it. Like and subscribe. Merch giveaway at midnight. And be sure to hit that bell notification for more updates. Bye, guys.